you're hypermobile and you know that working out is supposed to be good for you, but every time you go and work out, you're in more pain than before. And you want to work out, but you don't know where to start because every time you do, you're in pain. This video is for you. I get it. You go to the gym, you work out, you know that it helps with pain, you know that it's supposed to help you feel better, but every time you walk away from the gym, you're in more pain than when you went in. Why is that? It's oftentimes because if you have hypermobility, you experience proprioception internally differently, meaning until you're taught, you don't understand what it feels like to have the neck packed. You don't understand what it feels like to have the shoulders in a neutral place. So what you're doing is you're overloading specific muscle groups without realizing it, and that's causing inflammation, which is causing the pain. Now the question lies, how do I get into lifting if I'm hypermobile and I don't know where to start? What I want you to start with that will ultimately help you with everything else is learning how to put your body in a neutral state for it to be loaded. And what do I mean by that? I mean, learn what it feels like to go from this to this. Learn what it feels like to go from this to this. Not this, but neutral. So we're learning how to get neutral neck, neutral shoulders. Learn what it feels like to stack the shoulders, ribs, and hips. So that way, it's not an anterior pelvic tilt or posterior pelvic tilt. Learn what it feels like to have neutral hips. Learn what it feels like to have 3 points of contact on the bottom of your feet while doing leg exercises, while keeping alignment of your hips, knees, and feet. We want to learn what neutral, true neutral feels like so we can better load that, so we can develop ourselves in a neutral state where we're not overloading specific muscles that's going to cause us inflammation that will cause us pain. Now, a lot of you are going to ask, well, how do I figure out what's neutral? And if you're not in my hypermobile group where I teach that, you're going to use a mirror. Now, what we do is we're going to go in the mirror either facing head on or to the side, and you're going to be right here maybe. And then you're going to go like that. And it's going to feel like you're cranking your neck backwards, and you're actually not, but what you're developing is the proprioception to be aware of what neutral feels like. And you're going to correlate that sensation of what neutral feels like to what it looks like. So if I go right here, I'm going to look in the mirror, see that I'm neutral, and understand what it feels like internally for that position. I'm also going to go forward and I'm going to do it with my shoulders. If I'm right here and I pull them back right here, it might feel like I'm right here, but in actuality I'm right here. I'm going to become familiar with this feeling because this is where we want to do our overhead press. You don't want to do your overhead press right here. You don't want to do your squats right here. We want to understand how to get these positions neutral. Now with your hips, you're going to watch hip bones, turn them back. Correlate what this feels like to having neutral hips so you know how to keep neutral. Because the thing that we want is we want to be able to keep a neutral positioning with external loads so we're not overloading the wrong muscle group when we're doing exercises. Yes, this takes time, patience, and practice, but it's better to learn slowly at a pace that works for you than never learn at all and always be in pain. I hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. As always, thank you for the support. Have a lovely day.